Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for June 12, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, in international news, tensions between the European Union and Israel have reached a boiling point, with EU leaders set to condemn Israeli aggression at next week's summit. However, sanctions against Israel are unlikely due to opposition from several member states. In other news, the UK is facing a crisis over military spending after Defence Secretary Dan Healey resigned, citing disagreements with the Treasury. The move has sparked widespread concern among military leaders and analysts, who warn that the UK's defence capabilities are already being stretched thin. Prime Minister Keir Starmer's own position may be under threat as opposition leaders call for greater clarity on the government's defence spending plans. And in a related development, Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is expected to announce his candidacy for the Labour leadership later today, potentially challenging Prime Minister Starmer's position. We'll be providing ongoing coverage and analysis of these critical stories throughout the day. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, tensions are escalating between the Philippines and China, as the Supreme Court has declined. Alabama's request is not relevant here, but rather a significant development in the region. We're following the story of the Philippines and China closely. Secondly, the U.S. Supreme Court has declined Alabama's request to proceed with a nitrogen gas execution, citing concerns over the method's constitutionality. This decision has sparked intense debate about capital punishment and the use of experimental methods of execution. Lastly, racially motivated violence has erupted across the United Kingdom, with multiple cities witnessing marches and riots sparked by a viral video on social media. British politicians have condemned the violence, but concerns are being raised about the role of social media platforms in fueling racism and xenophobia. We'll be providing updates and analysis on these stories throughout the day. For now, it's clear that these issues will remain complex and contentious for years to come. We invite our listeners to share their thoughts on these topics by contacting us through our website or social media channels. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. We've got a packed show for you today, covering the latest developments in the world of finance and technology. First off, we're seeing a significant shift in the Indian IT sector, with stocks extending their losing streak to 7 consecutive sessions. The Nifty IT index has plummeted to its lowest closing level since May, sparked by fresh AI disruption jitters. Analysts warn that the sector is navigating uncharted territory, and investors should exercise caution when navigating this space. In related news, OpenAI's upcoming IPO and the launch of its new GPT-4 model have been making waves in the tech industry. We'll be keeping a close eye on how these developments impact the market and providing you with expert analysis and insights. And finally, we're also tracking the latest news from SpaceX and the global markets, as the world of finance continues to evolve at breakneck speeds. Whether it's AI disruption, rate hikes, or geopolitical turbulence, we'll help you stay ahead of the curve and make informed decisions about your investments. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, researchers have made a breakthrough in understanding how time emerges from quantum interactions. An experiment using a toy universe created in a lab demonstrated that time can arise from the interactions between different parts of a system, challenging our classical understanding of space-time and the laws of physics. Secondly, NASA's Deep Space Network, a critical infrastructure for space exploration, is facing significant challenges due to growing demand and recent technical issues. The agency is working to repair and upgrade the network, including partnering with commercial providers to construct new ground antennas and exploring high-bandwidth optical communications. Lastly, we looked at how artificial intelligence is being used to improve our understanding of the universe, particularly in the context of space exploration. From analyzing vast amounts of data from spacecraft to developing more efficient communication systems, AI is playing an increasingly important role in advancing human knowledge. These stories highlight the exciting and rapidly evolving nature of science and technology, and we're eager to continue exploring these topics in future episodes. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, in the world of baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers secured a series win against the Pittsburgh Pirates, despite injuries to key players, Rafael Flores Jr. and Brandon Lowe. The team's depth and resilience will be tested as they monitor the status of their injured players. In finance news, market analysts have been drawing parallels between the current NBA Finals and the 1973 championship won by the New York Knicks. While it's essential not to make direct correlations between sports outcomes and stock market behavior, this historical parallel does serve as a reminder of the importance of risk management and diversification in investing. Lastly, in NFL news, Caleb Williams downplayed comments made by Micah Parsons, stating that their rivalry is just part of the game. The Bears-Packers rivalry is expected to be intense this season, with both teams looking to make a statement in the NFC North. We'll continue to follow these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. Join the conversation on social media using the hashtag AIDailyPress. This is Howard reporting for the AI Daily Press. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Kurl.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we're looking at the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, where reports indicate a surge in violence, resulting in civilian casualties and displacement. The international community continues to urge for a peaceful resolution, with diplomatic efforts underway to address the crisis. Secondly, we're focusing on the challenges faced by cultural institutions in the United States. The International African American Museum has announced a 90-day furlough program due to financial difficulties, highlighting the struggles that many museums are facing nationwide. This institution plays a vital role in preserving our collective history and promoting cultural understanding, making it essential for us to recognize the importance of investing in these organizations. Lastly, we're remembering the tragic incident in the Netherlands, where a car struck a group of schoolchildren on a cycling trip, resulting in the loss of 2 young lives. Our thoughts are with the families, friends, and community affected by this tragedy, and we're reminded of the importance of community and the resilience of the human spirit. These stories serve as a reminder of the complexities and challenges that our world faces, from conflict and cultural preservation to tragedy and community solidarity. As we navigate these issues, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty and fragility of life, and strive for compassion, understanding, and empathy in all that we do. I'm Charles, wishing you a thoughtful and reflective day ahead. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. We've got a fabulous lineup for you today. First up, let's talk about reality TV. Love Island USA is breaking new ground in audience engagement, and I am here for it. They're joining the conversation with their fans before, during, and after each episode, creating a more immersive experience. But remember, folks, let's keep it kind and respectful to those contestants. Next, we've got a fresh take on a classic tale. The Death of Robin Hood, starring Hugh Jackman, is a thought-provoking and emotionally charged film that explores the complexities of the beloved outlaw. Director Michael Sarnowski brings a bold new perspective to the story, and I give it 4 out of 5 stars. And finally, let's celebrate a true Hollywood legend, the one and only Kathleen Turner. With a career spanning over 4 decades, she's proven herself to be one of the most versatile and daring actresses in the industry. From Body Heat to Serial Mom, her iconic roles have become ingrained in popular culture, and her legacy continues to inspire new generations of actresses and filmmakers. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan, and that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.